Hello, Doug Keane here from Family of League. As we know, the 2023 NRL competition for women has 10 teams over 9 rounds this year, the biggest expansion in the game. Family of League recently rebranded from Men of League to Family of League, and that was to show and better reflect the nature of our role within the rugby league community. We have, since our formation in 2002, always supported men, women and children in our great game of rugby league and the community. Families and individuals of all who make a great contribution to our game. To acknowledge and celebrate the role that women play in supporting our game, not just as players, but in sports media, club administration, again, coaches, referees, all aspects of the game to keep our juniors and seniors running. We'd like to spend a few minutes with Dr. Tracie Edmondson, the Head of Communication and Community Engagement. Tracie, thanks for agreeing to be part of the interview today. It's fantastic. Your CV is amazing over the years, involvement in sport, not just rugby league, and you have a strong background in journalism, media and PR. Tell us a little about yourself and the background that led you to your current role at the New South Wales Rugby League.
Thank you for inviting me to be part of this series that you're doing. In terms of, I've been involved in, I guess, rugby league for just over 20 years, but from a media and communications perspective, I've been working in the sport sort of media industry for 38 years. As you mentioned, started off as a journalist in newspapers where I specialised in sport, did about 8 years in sport, and then went to the other side working as a media and communications manager in various sports. Started off with Surf Life Saving Queensland, then Surf Life Saving Australia, Women's Hockey Australia, and then found my way to rugby league, starting with the Sharks and the Dragons, National Rugby League, then worked on 2 Rugby League World Cups as well as, and then I've been at New South Wales Rugby League for 8 years. But I mean, I guess for me, I've always loved sport. I love writing. I've been really lucky to be able to combine both my passions in my career.
And you said you've worked with the NRL and so many other organisations, but at the moment, isn't women's rugby league just going through the roof with the NRLW, your competitions? Harvey Norman, it's in the 7th year. I think they have 11 teams and 13 in the Tracie Gale Cup, as well as the Country Cup. So it's just going from strength to strength. Are the pathways for senior players strong and effective?
I would have to say absolutely, because if you look at our numbers, I know recently they celebrated the Women in League round, and I'm pretty sure our female numbers are around 26,000. Only just like 2 years ago, I think we were celebrating having 20,000 females playing in the game, and not long before that it was around 6,000. So, it has long been the huge growth area, but it's not just in players. I think we also have, in terms of other females involved in the game in New South Wales, we've got like 9,000 women coaching and volunteering, 18,000 people attended the Women's Origin Tour. It was like a record crowd, and we've got over 400 women refereeing. So, what's, the focus on and the pathways that we've created for women in a whole lot of areas, not just playing, are certainly, paying dividends now. But in the time that I've worked at New South Wales Rugby League, I've seen, and this is a great deal of credit goes to Yvette Downey. Yvette, when I started, women, a lot of the girls had to stop playing when they were 12, and then they would return to the game when they were 18. Yvette had an idea with the Tracie Gale Cup concept, which helped to create, representative and other pathways for women, so that now we have girls can play all the way through. They don't have to stop playing. But, she played a big role in that, and that's really helped, because it's like you can't have an NRLW without having a big base below it. And, our competitions through the Harvey Norman Women's Premiership, the Tracie Gale Cup, and, all the way through now to the various comps, and even League Tag. League Tag is enormous with girls, but it gives them a little bit of confidence and gives them time to develop skills to go through and then play, the 13-a-side, game if that's what they choose to do. But I think we've got great pathways. Yeah,
those numbers are just tremendous, and growing from strength to strength. So also senior management and executive roles within league generally. Do you see an increasing that growth as well in women's rugby league? And it's another way that they can get a professional career in rugby league.
Absolutely. Again, I think when, and a lot of these sort of things come from the top. And at New South Wales Rugby League, we have a great CEO in David Trodden. And I know when David started as CEO of New South Wales Rugby League 10 years ago, so he recently had his 10th anniversary. He tells of how there was one female staff member. There were no females on the board. There were no female senior executives. We now have 3 females on the senior executive. We have a female on the board. We have, like, our staff-wise, we've probably got maybe 30 to 40% are females. So there's been huge change. There's great opportunities and pathways for women to get involved in the game at every level, whether it's, from grassroots to you can definitely forge a career in the game now, which is fantastic to see. And I think, it's across the board as well in a whole lot of different roles.
Again, those numbers from 10 years ago, from 1 to what we are now, is just, again, amazing. So media as well. So we have a significant number of very competent ladies, broadcasters and presenters, and in roles such as yourself. Again, how would you encourage people to get involved? Because there's plenty of opportunities now.
There definitely is, Doug. Certainly, you do see a lot of women involved from a broadcast media perspective, and the likes of Fox Sports, and all the Channel 9, Channel 7, etc., Channel 10. They've all given women a great opportunity, and it's really really good to see some very talented women involved in the game there. There's still, I think, there's the numbers haven't increased as much in print journalism, even in radio, and also in clubland. So I think there's a whole lot of opportunities there. In terms of media manager, like the particular role that I played when I started as media manager of the Cronulla Sharks way back in 98 or so, when Andrew Eddinghausen was captain, there were 3 females back then. One with Parramatta, one with Bulldogs, and myself. And I look now, and there's probably maybe only one that I can think of still doing that type of role. However, there are a lot of women working in other roles as part of the comms teams, like with the advent of digital media, social media, etc. There's certainly a lot more females getting involved at that level. But I know when we've been employing people, I find we're still getting more males applying. So I would absolutely encourage, girls, women who are doing media and comms degrees, etc., to really to look out. I mean, because we're looking for, you want diversity, and it's really good to have both perspectives. So
and it's a very inclusive competition at New South Wales Rugby League.
Yes, absolutely. In terms of girls, I know when I've been to watch my son play on a Sunday morning, quite often the game before is the girls. So there's a lot of girls tackle, as well as I mentioned before, I think the league tags really helped as well, given a lot of girls an interest in, I think the girls just love the idea of being around footy and playing footy, whether it is league or tag. I've also seen a lot of girls refereeing as well, which I think's fantastic too.
What message would you give to any of the ladies in particular watching this video about the mums and families of the ladies and stick to our game?
At New South Wales Rugby League, one of our we want to be the game for all, and for us that means being open to anyone who actually wants to be part of the game. So they may not be, you may not ever play, you may not be involved in that level, but just wanting to be part of the rugby league community, that's who we see as our sort of rugby league family. And we welcome everyone to be involved, but whether it's, like I said, from kids playing, women playing, we've got wheelchair rugby league, we've got physical disabilities rugby league, we've got so many different aspects of the game, and we're working really hard. There's still more we can do, but our really big focus is being the game for all, and that's certainly in our next strategic plan. That's a really big focus for us.
As you know, in being inclusive, similar to us, we have different ways that you can help the family of league.
Family of League, obviously being involved in rugby league for as long as I have, I've been well aware of the organisation and the amazing work, the great work that it does. And the Family of League, and because I'm lucky to know that it's not just about supporting the men who play rugby league and retired NRL players, but it's the whole, it's the families, like it's the people around, anyone, as I just spoke about, our rugby league community, our rugby league family, and just for only $25 a year, you can actually be a member of Family of League and make a massive difference to our rugby league community.
I know you have a very busy schedule and you've got other things to do right now, so we really appreciate your time and the work that you do in rugby league, and it's about the same time as Men of League and Family of League have been around, about 21 years and over 20 yourself, so thank you very much.
Thanks, Doug, it was a pleasure.